What if everything you were taught about intelligence is completely wrong? I asked ChatGPT to analyze why people with average IQs often outperform geniuses in every area of life, and the answer will destroy everything you believe about success. The truth is that traditional intelligence means almost nothing compared to this one skill that schools never teach, and mastering it can make you unstoppable. For over a century, society has worshipped IQ as the ultimate predictor of success. We have built entire educational systems around this assumption, believing that raw cognitive ability determines who succeeds and who fails. But according to research from Harvard Business School, IQ accounts for only 6% of career success, while emotional intelligence accounts for 58% of job performance across all industries. Dr. Daniel Goleman, landmark study tracked 181 positions across 121 companies worldwide and made a shocking discovery. In 67% of leadership positions, emotional intelligence was twice as important as technical skills or IQ. Even more surprising, at the highest levels of leadership, emotional intelligence accounted for 85% of what distinguished outstanding performers from average ones. I asked ChatGPT to explain this phenomenon that has been hiding in plain sight for decades. Why do emotionally intelligent people consistently outperform their intellectually superior counterparts? The answer reveals a fundamental flaw in how we understand human capability and success. ChatGPT began by explaining the neuroscience behind emotional intelligence superiority. The human brain processes emotional information 5 times faster than logical information. The amygdala, our emotional center, receives sensory data 20 milliseconds before the neocortex, where rational thinking occurs. This means emotions literally control our initial response to every situation. People with high IQ but low emotional intelligence are constantly fighting against their own brain architecture. They make decisions based on logic, while their emotional centers are sending contradictory signals. This internal conflict reduces effectiveness and creates chronic stress that impairs cognitive performance over time. Research from the University of Pennsylvania shows that emotional stress reduces IQ performance by an average of 25 points temporarily and 10 points chronically. High IQ individuals with low emotional intelligence often underperform because their superior reasoning ability is constantly compromised by poor emotional regulation. Conversely, people with high emotional intelligence work with their brain architecture rather than against it. They process emotional information effectively, make decisions that align with both logic and intuition, and maintain optimal cognitive performance by managing stress and emotional states. ChatGPT revealed that human achievement is rarely individual. Success requires collaboration, influence, and relationship building, all areas where emotional intelligence provides massive advantages. A Stanford Research Institute study found that 85% of career success comes from well-developed social and emotional skills, while only 15% comes from technical knowledge. High IQ individuals often struggle with what psychologists call the curse of knowledge. They become frustrated when others cannot keep up with their thinking speed or complexity. This frustration damages relationships and reduces their ability to lead, teach, or collaborate effectively. Meanwhile, emotionally intelligent people excel at reading social situations, adapting their communication style to different audiences, and building the trust necessary for sustained collaboration. They understand that intelligence means nothing if you cannot influence others to implement your ideas. The research is overwhelming. Teams led by emotionally intelligent managers outperform teams led by high IQ, but emotionally unintelligent managers by 20% on average. In sales, emotional intelligence predicts performance twice as accurately as IQ. In leadership positions, the correlation becomes even stronger. One of ChatGPT's most shocking revelations was how emotional intelligence improves decision-making quality. Traditional thinking assumes that emotions interfere with rational decision-making, but neuroscience shows the opposite is true. Dr. Antonio Damasio's famous study of patients with damaged emotional centers revealed that pure rationality leads to terrible decisions. These patients could perform complex logical reasoning but made consistently poor choices in real-world situations because they lacked emotional input about potential consequences. Emotions provide crucial information that pure logic cannot access. Fear warns us of potential dangers that rational analysis might miss. Excitement indicates opportunities worth pursuing. Guilt signals when our actions conflict with our values. Anger reveals when our boundaries are being violated. People with high emotional intelligence integrate both emotional and logical information to make superior decisions. They can sense when something feels wrong. Even if the logical analysis looks positive, they trust their intuition, while also engaging rational evaluation. This dual processing approach leads to better outcomes across all areas of life. ChatGPT explained that sustained high performance requires effective stress management, an area where emotional intelligence provides decisive advantages. Chronic stress reduces cognitive performance, creativity, and decision-making ability. It also damages physical health and relationships. High IQ. Individuals often experience chronic stress because they overthink situations and struggle to manage the emotional complexity of human relationships. Their superior analytical ability becomes a liability when applied to emotional situations that require acceptance rather than problem-solving. Research from the Mayo Clinic shows that people with high emotional intelligence experience 23% lower stress levels and 13% better physical health outcomes compared to those with high IQ but low emotional intelligence. They sleep better, have stronger immune systems, and maintain energy levels that support sustained high performance. Emotionally intelligent people have superior stress recovery because they can identify stress signals early, implement effective coping strategies, and seek social support when needed. They understand that managing emotional states is just as important as managing logical analysis. The most dramatic advantage of emotional intelligence appears in leadership positions. ChatGPT analyzed data from Fortune 500 companies and found that CEO success correlates more strongly with emotional intelligence than with IQ, education, or previous experience. Leaders with high emotional intelligence create psychological safety that allows team members to contribute their best thinking. They inspire genuine motivation rather than relying on fear or external rewards. They navigate organizational politics effectively and build coalitions that support their vision. Meanwhile, high IQ leaders often fail because they focus on being right rather than being effective. They intimidate rather than inspire, alienate potential allies, and create cultures where people are afraid to share innovative ideas or admit mistakes. ChatGPT final insight was that emotional intelligence provides superior adaptability in our rapidly changing world. High IQ helps you excel in stable, predictable environments where knowledge and analytical ability determine success. But in dynamic, uncertain environments, emotional intelligence becomes far more valuable. Emotionally intelligent people read social and emotional cues that signal coming changes. They build diverse networks that provide early warning about shifts in their industry. They remain calm during uncertainty, which allows them to think clearly while others panic. Most importantly, they can motivate themselves and others during difficult transitions. Change requires emotional resilience, not just logical understanding. People follow leaders who can help them feel confident and capable during uncertainty, not necessarily those who can provide the most sophisticated analysis. The evidence is overwhelming. Emotional intelligence beats IQ in predicting success across virtually every domain of human achievement. Yet our educational system continues to prioritize cognitive development while ignoring emotional and social skills. This creates an enormous opportunity for individuals willing to develop their emotional intelligence. While others compete on IQ and technical skills, you can develop the capabilities that actually determine success: self-awareness, emotional regulation, empathy, and social skills. Do not let society convince you that intellectual ability is the only form of intelligence that matters. The future belongs to people who can combine cognitive ability with emotional wisdom. Start developing your emotional intelligence today, and watch as opportunities that seemed impossible become achievable. What has been your experience with emotional intelligence versus traditional intelligence? Share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more content on developing the skills that actually create success in the modern world.